Good morning, everyone. It's a rainy Sunday morning, about 9:30. Got up, did some meditation, some writing, and I needed to get out and kind of center myself and bring myself back to the places I wanted to be instead of rush, get as much done as possible. Because sometimes, too, this isn't going to be about the main thing of the talk, but I just want to remind you is we're trying to get so much done. We're trying to fit all this stuff in, and we're stressing the hell out of ourselves, and we're becoming less productive. When if we just took a break to get up, to walk around, to go work out, to grab a drink of water, to stretch, to do something, you're going to find that you're going to be more productive and more efficient than you ever thought you could be. So, what I was thinking about is I was talking with a friend of mine, Vicky, and we were talking about wants. And even though I know this, what we focus on, we create. We don't get what we want, we get what we focus on. And even though I know this, it's another thing to really understand it. And what I mean by that is that it's much easier to look at the physical and to say, well, it's not in my life right now, so it wasn't meant to be. Or it's going to be too hard to create. And most of us will only then live in the physical realm. And we'll say it's not possible, it wasn't in my stars, God didn't want me to have it, fate had another destiny for me. And some of that may be true, but a lot of times we're making excuses for why we can't have something. We're giving ourselves a reason to not work towards it because we're looking at the instantaneous aspect of it's not in my life right now. Whether it be a relationship that isn't working out, not going the way that you want, whether it be the job, you're not getting the promotion, you're not getting the raise, you're not getting to the places that you want, or even in your self-development that you're like, I'm never going to learn this, I'm never going to get there, I'm not as good as this person. And so then we compare ourselves to other people and we compare ourselves to the instantaneous aspect instead of saying, what do I really want? And keeping our unwavering, enthusiastic commitment towards, I will have my most dominant intent is to look for the things that I want to see. Because where I'm going with this is that everything in this world is a vibration. You know, I'm holding this phone, I'm holding this umbrella. They feel physical to me, but they're atoms vibrating at a certain frequency that are creating this physical manifestation that I'm touching. The same thing about our thoughts. Our thoughts are vibrational frequencies. And so how we think will create certain frequencies, certain vibrations that will actually bring those into the real world. Whether we bring them just only in thought, whether we bring them physically by saying, this is what I want, I'm going to continually focus on what I want, and so that my mind can actually make that a reality, can create it a reality. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, is they think for just a little bit, well, it would be nice, I hope, and it's really not a commitment towards focusing on where they want to be. So their brain, the universe, says, well, you really don't want it, so I'm not going to help you to it. And you're not going to help yourself to it because you're like, I'm going to be wasting my time. Why would I do that? So the more that you focus on what you want, the more that you continually work to create those higher vibrational frequencies that will overtake the lower ones, the negative ones, and will create things, the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. The greater your power gets. The more that it seems like magic, that when you think something, it happens. And I probably have told this story, but there have been so many times in my life where I'm thinking about friends I hadn't talked to in years, and I'm like, you know what, I need to call Dylan, I need to call Ben. And that day or that week, they are contacting me because I put that thought in the universe. Whether they had put the thought into the universe and they had touched me and I felt it, or whether I had put that thought in the universe and they had felt my energy, it really doesn't matter. It was just about showing the aspect of time and time again, where I focus where I want, things happen. And I forget that all the time because we get caught in the physical. We get caught, it's not working out. And so I'm going to challenge you to say, how can I focus where I want? How can I continually keep looking where I want to be instead of where I don't want to be? Because in the end, the reason you have or have not is by the thoughts that you think, is by the energies that you emit from your whole being of saying, this is what I want, and I'm going to do anything and everything to create those vibrations, to manifest this, to create this, to become this. And ultimately, it's not even becoming, because you already are that. Your present just hasn't caught up to the future yet. And so I think that's really what it's about. You know, these people. I was talking with someone the other day, and we were just talking about CEOs or people who have created these things. This one person was in a successful computer company that he started. He had 10 employees. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to go sell coffee. And all his friends are like, you're crazy. That's so stupid. You're making good money. You're not going to make any money, selling this coffee. And then what happened was this person went out. They don't even have a store. They sell it through a carton and all that stuff. And they are doing so well that their wife is actually leaving her job to help them out with this. And so where I'm going with this is that when this person was promoting all their stuff, a lot of times it sounds like it's lying that, I'm so good at this, I've been doing this for a long time and all that stuff. But the thing is, the people who create those amazing things, even though they're not saying the so-called what we would call truth, it's not that they're lying, it's that they see the bigger picture and they are so confident in their success that they're seeing beyond what is. They're seeing the person that they are, not where they are physically at the moment. So anyways, coming back to that is to be where we want to be who we want to be, to live the life that we're meant to, that God intended us to be, to connect with the higher self, the capital S, and the lower self, ourselves, so that higher self being God, being us connected to it, that we never leave it, but us connecting to the universe, to everything that is. It's really about living in all those different realms at once, not just the physical, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, the environmental, the physical. And I don't know if I forgot one, but it's all these different realms at once and saying, this is what I want. This is where I want to be, and I'm going to focus on the things and the places that are going to make me. And so I'm going to leave this on this last point, because I think sometimes too, we focus on what we want so specifically. I want this exact person in my life. I want only $1 million and all these things. And there's nothing wrong with being specific and crystal clear, but sometimes we're focusing more on the thing rather than the emotion that we want to feel. Because in the end, the reason why we do anything is because we want to feel something. We want to feel good. So the reason we want to make $1 million is we want to feel successful. We want to feel that security that, well, I've made this $1 million, now I can buy whatever I want. But in the end, people are focusing only on the money rather than, okay, this was a manifestation of showing that I can create whatever I want. I can meet whatever I want. So I'm not saying we can't focus on the specifics. That's good to do it. But sometimes that's where we'll say that fate or the universe didn't mean for us to have this, because that person left and they won't come back. They're never coming back. We lost that job, or we can't get that promotion, and it's not going to happen. So in the end, it's really about focusing on what we want and saying, these are the places I want to be. This is the most successful person that I choose to be. And I'm going to keep my wants there. I'm going to be at a higher frequency, a higher vibration to make that a reality in my life. So anyways, Chris O'Hearn was strong within, and I'm not hoping that you're going to make it a great day, or that I'm not hoping that you have a great day. I'm going to put it out there, make it a great day. You're in control. Focus on what you want. Create different vibrational frequencies. Make your thoughts manifest into the reality of what they can be, of who you can be. So let's go out and be strong within together today. Thanks, guys.